All right, joining us right now is the CEO of Tech Mahindra, Mr. CP Gurnani. Thank you very much for being with us. I hope Davos is keeping you nice and cold. Temperatures dropping. But what about IT budgets? What's the sense you're getting? This is also the time of the year when people decide on IT spends. Is the mood better this time around?
Again, I don't think that there is a perfect trend anywhere. The reason I'm using the word perfect trend is a lot is dependent on how US ultimately comes out of this, the current crisis of government shutdown.
True.
Because I think US, which accounts for almost 60% of the Indian IT spend, for us it is 46, 47%, but that going through
A crisis like this.
I won't call it a crisis, but I would definitely say an uncertainty. And I don't think there is a very big clarity on that subject. And similarly, this whole Brexit. I mean, it is clearly making people a little indecisive for the moment. But the good news is, the other way of looking at it is, there's no globalization 4.0 unless there is a technology involved in it. The world is connected, the solutions will be connected, economies have to be connected, whether we end up solving the skill problem or whether we end up solving the sustainability issues, we will have to use technology.
Trust Indians to find some good news in the bad. And you're right that there cannot be Industrial Revolution 4.0 without a well-connected world. But are you essentially saying here that with the US going through the troubles that it are, with global trade tensions rising, Brexit in particular, Indian IT and the world at large needs to be prepared for a period of perhaps more sustained uncertainty?
I would not immediately react to this because I've seen that IT is a lag industry. It's not that the food prices change or oil prices change, your behavior changes overnight.
True.
It is, the impact, if any, is like 2 to 3 quarters away. So I would wait, I would watch, and I would obviously do my scenario modeling, but many cases it works out as actually an opportunity. When somebody ultimately, where is the IT budget going? It is going to run the operations, to change the operations, or to grow new businesses. So more often than not, right now what is happening is run the operations is getting less percentage of IT or technology spend, and change and grow get more.
Fair point. You know, one of the things that I think a lot of people point out is that in 2018, tech stocks outpaced the indices because of a weaker rupee. What sort of margin cushions could tech companies look for now? Because the rupee is at least got into a zone where it looks a little more stable than it was.
I don't think it is only because of this, because I can tell you about Tech Mahindra that when I told you my 45% business or 46% business comes from US,
Yes.
I mean, I had other currencies to battle, that means.
True. Yeah.
And if I had other currencies to battle, every currency had its own equation with the US currencies.
Kind of balances out.
That is true.
What about pricing? Are we seeing more aggression there?
The way things work out is, if it is a blockchain solution, actually you get, more, I mean, if you're willing to put more skin in the game, I think the risk reward pricing works very well. If it is quad computing or AR/VR or data to AI kind of a solution, you are in a good position because more often than not, you're putting in the tail end, which is premium, which is not so easily available, and you're also solving some of the customer challenges that customer is willing to pay for.
But Mr. Gurnani, as far as digital investments are concerned, will the focus continue to be on driving digital investments? Because, digital is slowly and increasingly becoming the centerpiece of the tech world. Will investments be driving, and will investments be focused driving digital investments?
I think you're right. After a certain point, digital will become hygiene. But I think for the next 18 months, we are still talking digital. And post 18 months, when 5G becomes center stage, we will talk digital plus 5G.
But talking about 5G, you are somebody who has perhaps a stronger presence there. You've always traditionally been strong in telecom. What sort of an opportunity does 5G open up for a player like you?
5G for users means more connected device, less latency, high speed availability. 5G for enterprise is actually a lot more usage. But as you know, that 5G is still being rolled out. As we go to Barcelona next month, you would find 5G and enterprise use cases being the center of Mobile World Congress. So I think 5G real revenue impacts will come early 2020.
Talking about costs and margins, what is happening on that front? Many people believe subcontract costs have gone up. Will you give us a size, an inkling on the stringent visa norms and what it's doing to your costs and subcontracts and issues like that?
I mean, end of the day, subcontracting has increased not because of visa norms. Subcontracting has increased because many of the projects that you are trying to do, you have to do more agile, fast development. And hence, the only way to do it is by taking people which are locally available and strengthening them with your own strength and delivering a project. So in a way, digital by itself, some projects are like the fast food. And for that, you need to do local assembling.
I have to ask you two quick last questions, and one of them has to be on Indian elections. Is that having an impact? Many people believe elections are an uncertain input into the economic landscape. Is that having an impact on your India business, government business whatsoever?
I would not say that there is a direct impact. Government business is not very large for us. It's a very small percentage of our business. And the fact is that, as you know, government works on processes. March, they need to spend this much of money, otherwise it goes back to the treasury. So whatever will happen, it will happen in May. If at all there will be an impact, it will be on the next year. Nothing like having an impact now.
So a quick last question, and I think you ruffled a few feathers, but you were absolutely right on the talent shortage even in India. The kind of graduates that are coming out, how many of them are employable. Is the trend changing at all? I mean, it's not just you. Your peers in the IT industry have said so far that, the engineers that are graduating, the cost of hiring them is very high, or hiring is unviable because they are not hiring ready. The talent is not hiring ready. What would your prescription A be, and has the situation changed at all?
I don't think it's going to change overnight, but what has really changed is the democratization. That means an individual now comes to you and says, how do you make me employable? But to an individual, if you think I have all the right answers, no. I mean, it is like my son asking me whether he could invest in Bitcoin or not. And I told him no. And when it went up to 19,000 something, he said, Dad.
What did you tell me to do? Okay, for a tech titan like you, there are lots of people who believe that there is going to be a tech lash in the world. Like a backlash, there will be a tech lash because technology has invaded our lives so much. Do you see that happening? And what does CP Gurnani do to digital detox himself? Is there anything like digital detox in your life?
I have never been able to understand any detox. I love eating, I eat. If I love doing what I want to do, whether with my computer or my smartphone, I do. I mean, and if I'm enjoying it, why do I have to detox?
So no detox for CP Gurnani. Okay, thanks very much for speaking to us. That's CP Gurnani in conversation with us right here at Davos from Tech Mahindra.